So first off, we're going to have to take this all apart, and then I have to get power, plug the power in, and what we'll do is we'll then see if we can reflow the solder around specific points on the screen and see if we can at least improve matters. That would be wonderful. This, what I'm going to be trying to do tonight has got a very, very mixed success rate, and I am told, or I have been informed, that it's very hard to restore it to a perfect condition, and that if you have to ever do this repair, it's very likely you'll have to do it again at some point further down the line, because it will just come back, which is not ideal. So, but that's okay, because I am hoping to do a screen repair in this one, a screen replacement in this one, and I'm keeping a close eye on Ben Ven's one specifically. I think when I started doing this project, there were only two screen mods available: the McWill screen mod and the RetroKai mod, which was brand new at the time. And now there are four. There's Ben Ven has come into the... Ben Ven's kind of a bit legendary for this sort of stuff. He does a lot of very affordable mods, and he's quite well known for a flash cart called El Cheapo, something that I see cropping up all over the place for I think it's for a Game Boy flash cart, and for ROM dump sort of stuff. But he's done a couple of screen mods as well, and the one he's making for the Game Gear looks really, really well thought through. The version 1 is for sale just now on pre-order. I think it's about 60 quid, or sorry, maybe $60. And there's a planned version 2, which he says is going to be $90. And then, who else has made one? Retro 6 have made one. So we went from having no options at the start of the year to having 4 options now. RetroKai have already improved their version, their Game Gear screen. But yeah, and I think I'm not up to date on the McWill one, but I think that their one is still really high quality. It's high quality and expensive. So yeah, the landscape has changed a lot, and the Game Gear is really starting to get a bit of the love and attention that it needs, and which it deserves. Okay, here we go. Let's get these screws out of the way. So that's nice. Okay, so what we had last time was that there's an I/O shield that goes across the back here. When I put it back on after the recap, I found that the capacitors here on the audio board are why is it not changing my... Oh, because I'm in the wrong menu. Oh, sorry. There we go. So these new capacitors are too high off the board, so I really need to take them off and solder them back on again much closer down, and that should give me space for the audio board. But other than that, the audio recap went really well. This is the Game Gear screen, and the Game Gear screen has got 1, 2, 3 vertical drivers and 1 horizontal driver, and I believe our horizontal driver is the thing that's needing reflowed. I found several people doing this work online, and all you basically do is apply some heat here while it's running, very gently moving up and down over the area, ideally without touching it. And what should happen is that the solder in here should hopefully reflow and reconnect, and then the screen will, like a miracle, start to work. In theory. In practice, this is not likely to fix it. We may be able to improve matters very slightly, which would be really good, because if we can improve it, we can kind of know that there's nothing wrong with the rest of the circuits. Like if it ends up having just a couple of lines on the screen, for example, that would be wonderful. We'll see what happens. Okay. So this person still doing this, just hold it above here, forward, without touching. I am doing so, but I'm not seeing any difference. Oh, oh, can you see that? Look at that. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but that we very briefly managed to make it. Got an image, an actual image, so we're definitely heating the right place. But as soon as I let the heat go, it broke again. So we're going to have to go in and so we want to continue to do that. We want to encourage it to make a nice bond. Is that a good idea to do it with power on? It's the only way you can know if it's working. It's the only way to do it. Otherwise, you won't know if you've reflowed it. Very gently. See if we can. No solder here. I'm just applying heat. Oh. So the flux will, of course, help to pass the heat through. Oh, oh. Damn it, we had a picture for a second there. He's coming back very quickly. We need more work here, but what's interesting is that I can see that in the screen, but I actually can't see this from the angle I'm sitting at. So let me change the contrast a bit. Look at that, I've got something there. See that? Look at that. Yeah, I can't see that from the angle I'm sitting at, so that's very useful. That is a huge improvement over what we started with. So I think we're going to continue in this vein a little bit here. We're going to put a little bit more of this on. We're going to apply a little bit more heat. And the flux will distribute the heat, hopefully, across the whole thing, so that it's not focused in one area, hopefully. And this is why it needs to be powered on, so you can know if you're actually fixing stuff and when to stop. So let's see if we can get anywhere. You can see those lines are creeping back in. Oh, touch the chip there, I didn't mean to. I'm just trying to touch the flux. Oh dear. We're definitely making it better. This is definitely an improvement Problem is that when it cools, it's very likely to just go straight back to the... Hopefully if it comes back to this situation, stable with a line across it, that's great. That's a huge improvement. I doubt it will. I think when it cools, the lines will come back. It can take like 5 minutes or so for it to happen, but I've seen it happen. And then obviously I need to clean the flux off as well, so that can knock stuff loose again. But here we go. I think this is the last try I'm going to give it, and if this doesn't work, I'm not going to cry about it. I was just curious to see if I could make it better, and the fact that I have, I'm overjoyed with that, considering that I've done 5 streams in a row where all I've done is break shit or not fixed anything. So let's see if I can get rid of some more of these lines. I think those lines at the top are here to stay. They do seem to just be making it worse. Okay, let's see if we can push down rather than move falling. Switch up. This is plastic, so I should probably not be using this. Oh, I'm definitely making it worse. Oh, no. It's my flux, I think. Nothing I seem to be doing seems to be reconnecting whatever traces the big thick line there. And whenever I apply more heat, I just seem to loosen off the other ones again. So if I can get it back to just having one big line, let's see if that's possible. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do, I can't believe I actually made such a big improvement on it just by heating it up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and reduce the clearance on some of the capacitors on the soundboard, and then we'll reassemble it, and that will be that until we revisit this in the future with a new screen. Yeah, I think there's some new lines appeared at the bottom there, but again, it's not entirely unexpected. Right, okay. Turn it off. One bit I don't want to touch is the power board. So let's unplug that. There we go. Okay, that was more successful than I was expecting. Genuinely did not expect to get that to work in any way, shape or form. So I'm very happy with that result. Let's put these lights back on. Okay, now I need to clean here very gently because this is a very thin glass screen. Let's get back to work on this audio board. This should be a very straightforward job. I just need to remove the capacitors that are just now without damaging them if possible, shorten the legs and then sew them back on again. Easy, right? Okay, so basically, if you look here, these are soldered on such that they are elevated very slightly. A way to reduce the height of that so that we can get clearance for the shield. Now we don't need to do it for all of them. Position this over here, put it back together again. So I think it's actually just this one, but let's re-verify. Oh no, it's both of these and that one there. So you can see that they don't fit. So it looks like they will quite happily have enough clearance if I can get them close to flush. Now set that up. Oh. Oh my god, what a difference having the right tool for the job makes. If anybody remembers how much of a pain it was getting these off. Right, you know what? I'm going to just take them all off. So that one is C2. C2 goes in position 2 on my board. And this one that's about to come off is C1. Position. Oh, not quite perfect here. C1. And this one here is C7. So this is 7. And it's currently looking like that. So we're just going to try and reduce the size of those legs. Okay, so what I've done here is I've folded those legs over very, very carefully using the tweezers to hold the base of the leg stable. And then I've bent it around. See you later, Adam. Thank you for swinging by. So hopefully I'm just going to snip off the bent feet. We'll have a nice short pass all ready to go back on the board. Come on, focus on this. Focus on the thing right in front of you. Come on. Okay, there you go. Just too close. So there you go. So before and after. Oh, I think that's it. Okay, so let's try and get this side. I think that's actually pretty bang on. Doesn't look there's very much solder there, but there's enough, I think. Actually, looks like there's very little solder there. Maybe I should add a little bit more. It's going to be really hard to do that, but let's see what I've got here. These have got a directionality to them. They can only go in one way around. The board here has got like a white line here, a sort of white half circle. And that's to align with the white strip up the edge there, which is how I know which way around to go, in case anyone was wondering why I'm not checking it. That's how they went in, that's how they came out. Direction. Okay. And let's just look at here, see it here. Okay, a little bit more solder on here just to be safe. Perfect. That should be done. So you can see, if you look at it from the side, how much I've lowered the profile of those capacitors now. You can get a closer look at the actual connections as well. Can you? Okay. I think that there should be sufficient space now for this to close. Yep, that is not ideal. Still touching, but that should work. So this is like, gonna clip like that. Sit it around. Oh. Okay. Just need to get this to align. Get these little bits here to align. And then this little bit here. So how many lines do you think have appeared now that this thing's cooled? If we can get a partial picture, that would be fantastic. If we can get audio and a partial picture and the buttons all work, that would be superb. Probably needs to meet EMC regulations. That's interesting. At the time they were making this, South Korea had laws that, I don't know quite what it applied to, but I'm pretty sure it applied to all consumer electronics. You couldn't import them. They had to be made in South Korea. So there is a very, very rare South Korean version of the Game Gear. It looks identical to this, but it doesn't say. I can't remember what it says here. I don't know if it says Sega. I don't know if it was just import regulations. I don't know if it was just that Japanese companies couldn't do business. I can't remember the exact details. I do know that it's since not an issue anymore, but those are quite rare, hard to get a hold of. This Korean version of the Game Gear. Okay. Almost done. See if we can put this bad boy up, get something running. Okay. Where's my power? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Moment of truth, right? I'm going to turn off the lights so you can see the screen. There we go here. That looks like nothing at all. And a lot of lines. Oh, I got a Sega. Man, this is a really washed out screen. Okay, let's hope this works. Are we getting anywhere? Oh. Am I getting any audio? Yeah, we're getting audio now. Oh, it does sound good at least. We'll stop the background tunes for a second. Okay, I've got something up and dead already. That's Smash TV, alright. Yeah, this is really hard to do because I'm actually looking at... If I turn it towards me, I can't see anything. There we go. Fixed it. We have brought a Game Gear back from the dead. Obviously it's still got problems. We're definitely going to get those problems fixed in terms of a new screen. The buttons will work. Looks like there's nothing wrong with the CPU. There could be, but it'd be very hard to identify that. We've got the screen. The screen is totally fucked. Even if I was able to fix that, it's really, really washed out. And it's a common problem for these screens. They do degrade internally over time, and this is a pretty bad one. There's not very many good conditions versions of these screens left. Hopefully the screen in my own Game Gear is in better condition. We'll find out. I'll recap that. Probably start at, you know, a couple of months. At some point I'm going to run out of money for projects, and I've got the stuff ready to go for that, so I'll start doing that at some point soon. So that's good. That's a project done.